guess
That's
people know
fine.
me, but anyway, hi everyone. Um, I don't know if you wanna.
Sure, yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Morgan Guerin. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, engineer, composer, and producer based out of Brooklyn, and I'm happy to be here talking to you right now.
Woo! Thank you for that. Okay. So first thing is like, what kind of got you into music? Like, how did you start, and what's that been like?
Also, I was born right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana, and to a musical family. Like pretty much everybody in my family plays or is inclined in some type of way. So it was just in the blood from birth, literally. Like my grandma first of all plays bass, and she taught my father how to play bass, and then my mother plays piano. Also my brother plays piano, and then I have cousins who do cool things, and
Nice.
grandmas and aunties, uncles, all that stuff. But everybody has a really strong love and appreciation for music. So
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, it's been all my life. Like I started out on drums. Like my grandma, she would tell me that she would sit me on her lap, me being like 1 years old or whatever, and put her arms around mine and like play a drum groove or whatever. And
Nice.
she would like let go and not keep the groove going, and then she'd hop on the bass. And I'm like,
Oh,
1, 2 years old or whatever. But I mean, that was just like my whole childhood. So we always had jam sessions, and it was always unspoken. It was just life, and it
the
still is.
thing.
Yeah.
That's just so cool. That's just so cool. Like I was like chatting to Joel as well the other day, and I was like, Americans have like the best backstories ever. Like in itself, it's like you could make a movie out of that. That's just so cool. So
Oh
cool.
man. I mean, I feel like everybody has a great backstory. It's just,
Do they?
well,
I mean, okay, maybe they do, but like I feel like just when I hear like that whole process for you and how it started, it's just like that could be a movie. I feel like everything is kind of like not everyone and everything in America, but just like really when you hear it, it's just so, I guess, different from my experience. I think maybe other people who have grown up like that might like resonate with it and be like, oh yeah, that's just how it is. But it's just so different and just so beautiful. And it's like a beautiful way of just kind of getting into it instead of having to kind of fight through or have a way to get there reading. But it's beautiful.
right, yeah. No, I appreciate it. I mean, like I said, everybody's story is different. I mean, I am definitely grateful to have so many people in my family who are musicians or musically inclined. I know some
Mm,
people who are musicians who are like the only musician in their families, and they have a completely different story. And they're like still, amazing virtuosic musicians, but they had to figure it out another way. So
yeah.
that's always an interesting thing to listen to as well. But I mean, it's I feel like the beauty of us humans all being so different is
Hmm.
that we're all gonna have something different to bring to the table in terms of our stories.
No, yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true. That's very true. So, okay, I guess like, because my next question is going to be like, how did you know you had a gift? But I guess it's kind of just, again, just been a way of life. That's really cool. So, how did you know, like, what's your instrument actually, like your main one?
So it's so funny. I've been kind of trying to design my career to not be contained to one instrument, but
Hmm.
I can tell you that I started out on drums, and then it was saxophone, and because I got a saxophone. This is actually a really kind of funny story. I got a saxophone on Halloween
Hmm.
2005, and I didn't want to play it, right, because I was already playing drums at the time, and I was like, I can't, play drum sits on this. What's the point? Like, and I was also playing drums at church at the time. I'm like 7 years old. I was playing drums. There was another drummer at the church who was also 7 years old, but the he was an organ player's son, so we got like first dibs on like all the cool songs.
Oh,
So one time, uh, one time service came along, and the organ player's son couldn't come to service, and they had me play, like the majority of the songs, and
hmm.
I folded. Like I messed up all the songs. And I was like,
Oh,
forget this. I'm never playing drums again. And I go home and put my drums in the closet, and I start practicing saxophone.
wow.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, and that
Well,
was
you
15 years ago.
oh wow. So, okay, based off of that, like in terms of drums and like I guess your creative process, how does like everything kind of come into play?
Um, Curiosity. Also, like, I feel like the reason why I'm playing other instruments well, at least trying to play other instruments at a high level is because I've been put into specific situations that people are like, I need you to play bass, like,
Mm,
or like I was in high school and we had like, symphonic band or whatever practice, and 3 months before like one of our school concerts, my band director was like, "Here, we need an
mm.
oboe player for this oboe part. It's like really hard music." And he's like, you know, "Can you do it?" And he's like, "I know you can do it. So can you do it?" And I was just like, I'm just really down for the challenge. So I had to learn the instrument and all the music in like 2 months, 3 months, and it was cool. I haven't played oboe since. I don't really, but it was. So I feel like because people have trusted me with a challenge, and I've just
Yeah.
kind of went along with it and fell in love with what was challenging. So
Yeah. Wow, that's insane. Wow, that's insane, honestly. So, like, what influences do you have, like, with music and maybe even like ones in life that have kind of played a part in the way you create and perform?
yeah, I mean, music influences, of course, like, going back to my childhood, New Orleans music, of course, Zydeco
Mm,
blues. I mean, the stuff I grew up on, uh, funk, of course. And then I moved to Atlanta in 2009, and that's when well, 2009 for me was middle school, so a little aged. But
mm,
that's when I was like introduced to like rap and R&B and trap. I mean, there's not that there's not rap and stuff in New Orleans. I was just so brainwashed that jazz was the only thing that I liked
yeah,
until I moved away, and then that ended up being one of the best things for me because that allowed me to um, figure out what else I like in terms of music and genre. Because I had, um, my mom had a house, and we each had our own. Like me and my brother had our own spaces, and I had a room with
mm,
all my instruments, and I was just able just to be immersed in it all the time. And so influences, I mean, it's really broad, but yeah, I mean, anywhere from like, I don't know, it's a lot. I'm influenced by a lot of things, but also I go through periods of time where I don't listen to music at all just to figure out what
yeah,
I'm trying to figure out. So
yeah.
so that it's a healthy little balance. So, but I listen to like a lot of music though.
No, that's dope. That's good. That's good. Okay, so what do you think makes you kind of different as an artist, like compared to everyone around you? And do you feel like you have like your own voice?
It's I've been searching for that, for a long time, and
Mm,
I feel like I'm on a good path to, figuring it out. And I feel like because sometimes I don't listen to that much music, I'm able to figure out what I really like and what I really identify with, in
mm,
my own sound, my own playing, my own writing, even in my own mixing. I'm trying to find, mixing sound that's like true to me. So,
yeah.
um, yeah. But I'm sorry, what was the question again?
It was just more so in terms of like how like having your own voice and like if you
Yeah.
feel as if you're just different, you know? And like just
Hmm.
honestly, even like you saying you've been searching, like what has that been like? And do you feel like even if you can't put into words, but like if you, like your sound, like when you get there, do you feel like you're gonna like know, or if you have like these little moments that you're like, oh, it's here, and then you have to try and find it again.
um, it's so interesting. Sometimes I don't know until like I look back and be like, oh shoot, that's what that was. But sometimes like when you're just in it, it's just who you are, and you just carry that with you. So,
Mm,
but I mean, I guess one of the things that makes me different is the fact that I have a love for so many different instruments, and I'm trying to find a voice on all of them. um
Yeah.
you know Mixing, I mean, so like the whole musician side of things, and the whole engineering side of things too. Like I'm very
Mm,
very much immersed in both. So yeah, I mean, then arranging, I'm arranging suites and string pieces and stuff. I'm just trying to just keep myself
mm,
very very interested and very curious, and just trying to have, I mean, at the long run, is a goal of mine just to have like just a very broad catalog of music,
yeah.
that's not based on a genre, but it's just who I am. So, and then people can be like, "Oh, that's who he is," but I can't really tell you who I am because it's just me, you know.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. And then okay, I kind of want to talk about like I guess like since you have different hats you put on, so I want to like get a detailed understanding of that creation process. So as an arranger, like how is that if you're doing it for a quintet or like and what instrumentation would that be? But I'm asking a lot, so we can kind of like split it up. So as an arranger, what is that creation process like?
Well, I was asked this year I was commissioned this year twice actually, but the first time
Mm-hmm.
I was ever commissioned, it was for a 30-second violin piece by a violinist named Jennifer Coe. And I mean, I've always been really interested in, writing for strings and writing for orchestras and chamber ensembles in general, because I'm just really fascinated with that sound. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm also just really searching for, I mean, because that people, I don't want to say when people think of classical music, they think of white people, but I'm trying to bring some blackness into,
Into it, yeah,
you
no,
know what
for
I'm saying?
sure, for
So
sure.
I'm just trying to make sure I can remain the same Morgan Guerin, just, on the classical side of things. And whether
Mm-hmm.
that's, using the same instrumentation as, some people do. Like, I mean, I had a commission that was premiered last month, and it
Mm-hmm.
was two violas, cello, flute, bassoon, piano, bass, drums, and I was conducting and playing like a little bit of EWI.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I'm just trying to find things that people haven't done before. Like, who's out there? Like, I didn't want to write a string quartet, just
Mm-hmm.
everybody writes string quartets. So I wrote like
Yeah.
I wrote two violas and a cello. Like, who does that? Like,
Yeah.
so, and then, I mean, I have like some other things coming up, and I'm just trying to figure out how to stay true to myself, and how to stay interesting, and just get the point across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of even production, like how do you approach that? It's the same thing of just trying to find something or a way of doing things that no one's done before. But
Well,
how do you,
yeah.
sorry, continue.
No, no, no. I mean, it's so funny that, like, it's so funny because so many things have already been done. Like, like if you like look at one of the most amazing pieces of written music in history, like one like Idris Stravinsky's "The Rite of Spring," like that was like the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're familiar with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, like, and he did that. He was like in his early 20s, and he lived on a long life and still wrote so many amazing more things. But I mean, long story short, and I think he actually has this really cool quote. I think he's like, um, good artists borrow, or good composers borrow, but great artists steal. But I'm not saying that like
Noted.
I steal things, but I do listen. I do try to identify, and I do try to see what works, what doesn't
Yeah.
work for me. Because I mean, people can make things work, but I'm just trying to figure out, what feels right. And then on the production side of things, I mean, it's influence based. I mean, I listen to like, I don't know, like Flying Lotus, Michelle, Nicocello, or like,
Mm,
um, I don't know who. I'm blanking, blanking on like a ton of people right now. But yeah, I'm just trying to bridge the gap between the world and what you're listening to. just trying to
Yeah.
create an environment in the listener's ears, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Wow. That's so cool. Honestly, that's really, really cool. Um,
appreciate it.
let me see. Do, 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 do. Okay, so in terms of like success right now, do you feel like you're there? You feel like you still have to, journey a bit more? Like, what is that even like? What is success to you?
Um, it's funny. Somebody asked me that question like a couple weeks ago, and I had to really think about it for a long time because I feel like success is a very personal thing. Like in terms of, everybody has this idea of success. Like people can link success to fame or wealth or, you know, long
Yeah.
careers or, but success to me is, I don't know, it's like a mixture of progress and knowing that you're on the right path and then
Mm-hmm.
being able to just be like that was great, just to acknowledge just for a second, because that's one thing that's
Yeah.
really hard for me to do, is just acknowledge that something is good of my own, because
Mm-hmm.
we're our biggest critics as
Yeah.
artists. But I feel like once I don't know, it's people can be I can be so hard on myself, and with success, uh I don't know.
It's okay. I think you're right. It's definitely like a personal thing and it looks different to everyone. So,
hmm
yeah, no, definitely. And then in terms of
Yeah,
like collaboration, like how do you feel about that? Are you so down for it, or is it something you're a bit apprehensive about? Like how does that feel for you?
I do like collaborating. I do.
Hmm.
And I have before, and especially with this most recent commission that I had, because I only played for like a minute or two, but the whole
Hmm.
suite was 30 minutes, and I was just conducting. And but collaboration is a beautiful thing, because every human being is different, and they all bring something beautiful to the table. Um,
Mm,
and so I'm definitely not against collaboration. If anything, I want to seek more of that into my own work, into my own career. Um, I guess one of the reasons why I do so much stuff on my own albums by myself is because I can, well, a couple of different reasons. One
hmm.
is to just like not have to worry about studio time or just wasting money. I
Yeah.
can just do it, take my time and just do it by myself. And usually if I know what I want to hear, I can just put it down. But
Hmm.
also the beautiful thing about that is I've had situations where I've played my songs. Well, I've like worked on my songs in a computer or whatever in my studio for
Hmm.
just, weeks and weeks and weeks. And I bring it to a band to play like live at a concert. And they show me things about my songs that I never even considered, because I
Mm,
was so immersed in my idea of what I wanted it to be. So and then I embrace that side of things, because it's most of the times it's really beautiful what they bring, because they're human as well, and I really trust their instincts and their
yeah.
musicianship. So collaboration is cool.
Nice. I think that's a really good way to look at it, really. Okay, so let's discuss your album.
Okay.
So you have the saga, but it's like is it a trilogy? Because this is three, right? The
Yeah,
one
it's
you
just
just
three.
released.
hmm
So talk me through the name and like what made you have it be that way.
Yeah, so I guess I can just start with the first one. The saga in general
Mm-hmm.
was, I was just trying to figure out a way to have like an audio autobiography of my life from a baby to, adulthood. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
22 right now, and I finished I finished the third one in like February, and I was still 21. So I was really, the goal just to finish it before I turned 21. And
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the three covers, you can see some type of uh, just growth and evolution.
Yeah, because the
You
first
know,
two are quite similar.
yeah. Because I was very much so in a similar headspace. I was pretty much living in Atlanta for
Okay.
both. And then I
Okay.
moved to New York and saw just many other things. I met many other people, played with many other people, and just had a different idea of what I wanted to present with my music. And
Mm,
I feel like the first two, they kind of sonically sound similar, but the third one is just the most different. You know,
yeah.
it's so yeah. I mean, just life story. I mean, because like some of the song titles are like street names that I grew up on, or I'm trying to like always just link the song title with something just to.
Hmm.
I mean, just I would want people to listen to it like it's a book, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's so funny. I didn't always intend it to be a trilogy. I like I released the second one, and then I was like still kind of internally dissatisfied. I was like, okay, this is cool, but I feel like there's still some more that I want to convey and want to say,
Mm,
and I kind of want to do this, before I become an adult. So that's why there's like 3 years in between the second one and the third one, because I was just figuring out a
mm.
lot of things and really took my time, and so I'm most proud of the third one, I should say. I don't really listen to
Yay, that's good. You're like, okay, that's done. So okay, but what story do you think you're telling? Like I know you said you mentioned like obviously some of the titles are street names and but like what overall story are you trying to convey with everything, if there is one?
um I mean, with I guess overall the three is, my life story, but if we get specific with the third one, I feel like
Mhm.
I've identified more parts of myself that I've never really had a chance to encounter with before. Like, I don't know, different feelings or different thoughts that I've never really had living, uh, still in high school or whatever. But so
Mhm.
yeah, so I was just trying to explore things that were true to me, and that's when I was going through that phase of not really listening to music. And uh yeah, I mean, the first song on the third one is called Fantastic Planet, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the planet we live on, because it's really unfortunate how people are treating this planet. But
Yeah.
it is a fantastic planet, but I'm really talking about the planet that's inside of my head. So I overthink a lot.
Me
So
too.
yeah, so flashback. uh yeah, I mean, just trying to keep it honest. I don't got
Mm.
nothing to hide.
That's really good. I honestly felt like it just felt out of this world. And I think that the cover as well, because I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, let me try not play a song. Let me just reduce this. I just want to look at it. But it felt out of this world. And I honestly feel like the cover did that too for you. It
Yeah.
just makes you feel like that. So even in like, because I mean, you use synths like throughout, right? Like I didn't really hear like an acoustic instrument if like if I'm
Like
right.
acoustic guitar.
I mean, yeah, like I mean, just okay, just overall like an acoustic general sound, like how you would usually hear in most music.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
with this,
yeah.
it felt like more synths and more electronic. So like, what made you kind of have that throughout the whole album and not just pieces or hints or just maybe one or five songs? Like, what
Yeah.
how do you do that?
Yeah, that's just what I was really interested in. I still am. But I had well, let me think. I already I was getting into synthesis, and I had been playing with Esperanza, and I was just really influenced by her writing, her style.
Mm,
Um and just other people too, of course, like Terry Lynn and Tasha. I mean, the people that I'm surrounded by, I'm influenced by them as well greatly. But
mm,
I'm, just trying to figure out, like, I don't know. I didn't want something to sound like a normal, clean record. I just wanted to sound, like me, whatever that is. So
yeah,
we're still trying to find that. But I feel like this third album was the most, like, the largest departure
yeah.
from, to figure out, on the path of what is my sound, in terms
Mm,
of mixing and performing and writing. So yeah, I mean, I just wasn't trying to keep it normal. I purposely made everything sound like it's not that instrument, you know.
yeah.
So
Wow.
that
Okay,
was
no,
on
that's cool.
purpose.
Nah, that's cool. And I think it's really cool as well how open you are to kind of show the moment you're in. Like, I feel, I mean, I'm saying for myself, and I think like a lot of the people I know, it's kind of like not wanting to release music or just be what you are in that moment because you're waiting for that like arrival, and it
Hmm.
it just really never comes. I mean, you could be satisfied, but it's not like a I'm here, this is it, it's done. It's like a constant evolution. So I think that this is really cool, and even for you to look back on as well,
Yeah.
with everything else you're gonna create. But okay, I think okay, we're almost done. Time's running out. Anyway, so in terms of like your career, how was that? Just because you're obviously still in college, almost done, but like having a career and college, like how did you connect the two? Like how did that start? Like you touring and performing?
Um, hmm. Well, I went to Berkeley 5 week for 2 summers in high school, and I met Terry Lynn there.
Mm,
So, and we kept in touch, and I moved to New York in 2016. So I went to Berkeley 5 week 2014, 2015, moved to New York in 2016, and joined Terry Lynn's band in December of 2016 because like that was another one of those times that she was like, you know, can you play bass? And I think like she's like she knows my father can play bass, and I did some YouTube videos of myself playing like multiple instruments like back in high school, and
mm,
I think I definitely did share those with her. I sent her my records and stuff like throughout high school because she still is my mentor. Um,
mm,
even though she's my band leader, she still is my mentor very much. And yeah, I mean, just trying to find a balance, really. I mean, I feel like New York in general is just a stool on its own. And,
yeah.
to also, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to really say anything bad about New School, but
No, no, no,
like
no,
on
no. Be
camera.
honest. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, 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 cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
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 cool.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I was just really drawn to all of the experiences that were happening outside of school for me, and I
Yeah.
was getting those experiences. I mean, because like my first gig in New York was at Dizzy's with Jimmy Cobb,
Mm-hmm.
right, and which was already a huge honor, but that was even though it was booked like way earlier in the year before I even moved to New York, but I feel like that was a really good introduction for me. And
Yeah.
then from there on, it's just meeting people. I mean, your peers, all of our peers, musicians, and it's so
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Like with such a small place like New York, you just meet so many people, you know.
Yeah.
So, just trying
Okay.
to keep the balance of school and career.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm still in school.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, no, that's really, really cool. Oh, okay. Well, time's running out, but honestly, this was so much fun and great to like find out more about you. And yeah, are you gonna drop anything anytime soon, like anything else?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna drop more music. I mean, like I said, I have some commissions coming up this next year, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to get back into arranging mode for that. But in terms of like another album, I have no idea because like I said, I have these are gonna take like at least a couple of months, so I need to like figure out what I'm gonna do. But I
Yeah.
have so many ideas, and there's gonna be more music for me for sure.
Yay. That's so cool. Okay, I'm excited though, really. This is just so cool. I'm excited for your career. And this is just so, so, so cool. It's really nice to get into you, and you really are like a musician.
Yeah,
So
appreciate it.
yeah, no, you really are. And it's just so, oh, it's just so good. But I think that what I'm also getting from this is that more so the community even happens, like it happens more so outside. So that's kind of where you need to be to
Mm.
find, to grow, to gain more. And I feel like you always, yeah, you and Joel are like really, yeah, you guys
It's
are
so funny.
serious.
He was just in my class.